Catherine Love. Also, we have a Galaxy A715G. Are you checking in on a case? Did anybody else check in?
I haven't seen anyone else, Your Honor. No.
Okay, we've got two other people here. Let's see. Actually, drove in for Yannick. Okay, hi, Ms. Love. Oh, actually, you're both. Okay, you are on the Galaxy A715G, and we also have you on screen as well. So. Got it. Okay, hi. Ms. Love, are you checking in on the Gary Young case? Can you hear us? Ms. Love? Ms. Love, can you hear us? Ms. Love, can you hear us?
Sign.
Yeah, I know. Yes, increase your volume. Ms. Love, we do need to talk about a couple of, okay, you can hear us, that's very good. Except, can you talk? We can't hear you. No, I know you're talking, but I can't hear you. I'm wondering if it's because. What's the telephone number? You're moving it on speaker. Wait. Oh, you know, hold on. Ask her to unmute. She's muted. Hi, Ms. Love, can you hear us? You are muted. I'm sending you a signal to unmute.
Okay, I got it.
Wonderful. Gotcha. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. I know. Look, we're all in the same boat, not a problem.
Okay,
Hi, Ms. Okay, stand by, Ms. Love. Ms. Washington, stand by. We're getting you on audio. We don't have your audio just yet. Stand by. Okay, Ms. Love, real quick, we're looking at your case. It is scheduled for today. A couple of things. It looks like we're going to have to adjourn this only because a question to you is, well, this is the reason why. You filed your claim. However, it looks like you sent off for certified mail back on March 8th of 2020 of this year, but we don't have the card back. So there's a service issue with yours. We want to make sure we have service completed for you. So that leaves us in a couple of places. We have a couple of things to discuss. It's not as a result of anything you did or did not do.
Well, I seen the white woman when she first started.
Stand by. Hi, Miss. Okay,
And she
stand by.
just said March something, that was April.
Miss Washington, stand by, ma'am. We can hear you.
Yes.
Okay? Hi, we can.
Oh,
Okay, hang on, Miss Love. Okay, hang on, ladies, hang on. Here's the thing. We've got a bunch of conversations going on, okay, Miss Washington? When you're talking, we can hear you, okay? So just stand by. We're gonna get you checked in. We're gonna get you in a second. I need to address Miss Love because she was in the room first, okay? Stand by. Okay, Miss Love, back to you. Here's what's happening. You did file the lawsuit and you did make arrangements for service with the little green card with the certified mail. But a couple of things. One, at this time, our file, oh, hang on. Because we need to make sure we've got service. Okay, you filed the lawsuit and you also used the certified mail system with US Postal Service to get service. However, we don't have the completed proof of service. So the question is, did you receive any notice or any information to show that service was completed on Gary Young?
no, we've been looking for him for 5 years. I've found him twice, and it's always through his work. So I might have to go through his work again, but this has been going on for 5 years.
Okay. Well, because the thing is, we have to have proof of service, we have to have service completed in order for us to proceed on the case.
Okay.
So, and here's the thing, it's gonna be a bit of a long explanation, but it'll make sense in a moment. Because you use the certified mail system, since COVID is now a factor in all of our lives, it has also affected the US Postal Service and how they get mail to people. The certified mail system is available to you to get service done. However, we found out earlier this year that the US Postal Service has a protocol for their mail carriers to keep them safe from COVID so that they don't have extended contact with the public. Even if you send the green card, typically it used to be the mail carrier would present the mail to the person. The person would have to sign the card. The mail carrier would take the green card and give it back to us, and we would get the green card with the person's signature on it. Because of COVID, the US Postal Service has implemented a protocol, a COVID protocol, that is called touchless, meaning that the mail carriers are no longer required to approach the person, give them the mail, and be in close proximity to them to get the signature and get the card back. So it's not because of anybody's fault. It's not your fault. It's not ours. We found this out. It's something that the US Postal Service is doing, and they did not do the best job of letting people know. We had to find out, okay? So the reason why that affects you now is that it could affect the choices you make in terms of getting service done. So bottom line is, right now, we see that you did send it on March 8th, so you did the right thing. However, so far, we do not have the card back anyway, so we don't know whether or not if it got to its destination. An alternative for you is we can keep the case afloat. You filed the paperwork, you did everything right. We can adjourn this to allow you time to perhaps use another method of service, perhaps make use of a process server, a physical person who's not bound. Go ahead. You were saying?
I have done that.
Okay.
Can I personally serve him? I know exactly where he lives. He just won't open the door.
No, ma'am. You cannot personally do it because you're a party interested in the case. You have to make use of the other methods that are available. You personally cannot.
Okay,
Okay.
Can my brother serve him?
Well, here's the thing, the court cannot advise you. The short answer is yes, but the thing is, that person needs to know how to properly fill out the paperwork and file the proof of service with this court. So how you work that out is up to you. It's just that because if you use that certified mail system, that's an additional layer of concern that we're trying to get out to people to make you aware of what's going on, okay? So we can adjourn this, and if you believe that you can complete service, let's take a look also at how long we have with the affidavit before it expires and make sure that's not an issue, so stand by. Okay, you're good. So the thing is, we have until June 4 to get the service completed, so we've got time. So here's what we can do. We can adjourn this about maybe 3 weeks or so, or put it into May, and that will allow you time to complete service. And then however you complete service and get proof of service back to the court so it ends up in our file, and then we can hit the ground running from there, okay? So here's what we're gonna do, we're gonna adjourn this.
Where can I get the paperwork on how to serve?
Well, that would be the paper, what we're gonna do is refer you to the, when you filed the paperwork, you would have gotten a copy of the affidavit and claim, so that's what part of what you're going to serve, on the person. And that's the other reason why it is helpful to have a bailiff do it, because the bailiff knows exactly what paperwork to file and how to get it done and how to get it back to the court. So that, but again, that is your decision, how you're going to do it, okay?
Yep.
So if anything, we would have to refer you to the second floor counter, and they can walk you through that process. And be advised that there's a distinction between giving legal advice, which they are prohibited to do, as well as giving you information on how to get it done. So it's up to them, like how much information they're going to be able to give you. But I'm just going to caution you that you contact the second floor window, but they cannot give legal advice. So let's look at a date. It's going to be on a Friday. Let's put it to May 14th. How are we looking for May 14th? Stand by, we're gonna make sure it's a good date.
Okay.
Nothing on that date.
We good?
Right.
Okay, we're gonna put it for May 14th. 9:30 a.m. And this is to allow you to complete service.
Okay, can I ask one question?
Yes, ma'am.
My mom is seriously ill. She's 85 years old with cancer. She's in the hospital now. Heaven forbid if something happens to her before this point, am I still able to go ahead and sue him on her behalf?
Okay, so let me ask you this. So Geraldine Troyanek is the plaintiff and you are not Geraldine Troyanek, is that fair to say?
Right, I'm her daughter. I have power of attorney over her.
Okay, so one thing that would be helpful is because if you're suing on her behalf, or if you're acting on her behalf, it would be helpful if you could provide a copy of that power of attorney so that we have that in the file. Because here's the thing, say for example, I am physically not here, we've had this conversation, but if another magistrate has to get this file and work on the case, they wouldn't know that. So rather than have to start all over again and explain that, if you have that power of attorney in the meantime, if you can file that and make that available and make sure that that information is in the file, so that's very helpful. So yes, if you have that available, yes, then you absolutely can still pursue the case on her behalf.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, no worries, but thank you for letting us know about that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put this to May 14, 2021, 9:30 to allow the plaintiff to perfect service and file proof of service with the civil division of this court. And what is your name, ma'am?
Catherine, and the same
That
last
was
name,
okay.
same last name, Trionic.
Okay, is it with a C or a K?
Let's see.
Okay. And one other housekeeping thing so that you're aware, because we're doing Zoom teleconferencing, we also stream live to YouTube. So my next question is for the purpose of maintaining privacy, but also to make sure that we've got a good address, okay? The address that we have is 119 address. Is that a good address for receiving mail for this case?
1199.
Yes, I'm sorry, 1199.
Yep.
Okay, good. Then it'll go to that address of record. And, okay. Okay, so what we have here is that we're going to adjourn this to 9:30 a.m. May 14, 2021 to allow plaintiff to perfect service and file proof of service with the civil division of this court. Catherine Troyanek was present on 4/16/21 and has power of attorney for plaintiff. Ms. Catherine advised to provide power of attorney documentation to the court's file. Okay, so you're going to receive a copy of this, but this is what's going to go in the file. So in the event somebody else picks up the file or something happens, that way you don't have to start over again explaining anything. The information will be in here, okay?
Okay, great, thank you.
So, okay, and that will allow you an opportunity to, complete the service. We'll see you back on May 14 at 9:30 a.m. And at this time, we're all set for you, okay?
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your patience.
All right,
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, Miss Marlene Washington, can you hear us?
Yes.
Hi, Miss Marlene. Thank you so much for your patience. And Miss Washington. Okay. We've got you back. We're going to get you checked in. And we had adjourned this. Hang on. And it looks like you were able to get service completed. Okay, it looks like you were able to get service completed, so thank you very much for getting that done. In the meantime, do we have any parties here? Mr. Reuter, looks like we got service. Are there any parties available? Checking in on that case? Okay. Ms. Washington, here's what's going on. Thank you again for your patience. Typically, because of COVID, and we know that everybody has different levels of understanding about how to do, all these technical things. We start at 9:30. That's our official start time. We usually give people until 10:30 to check in. Okay, so we've got you checked in. Okay, Ms. Marlene Washington, we've got you checked in. Okay.
Okay.
What we do is we give everybody gets about an hour to get checked in, okay? So just sit tight. You've got time to grab a cup of tea, have some toast, take a little bit of a break. Just stay within earshot. So if we do need an update or let you know if the other party checks in, then we'll get you up to speed on what's going on with your case. But we've got all of our paperwork here. You're good on service. So we've got until 10:30 to see if the other party checks in, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so thank you, ladies. Just sit tight, okay? And also, if you're going to be doing anything like that, feel free to put yourselves on mute. Because just remember, if you're talking, we can hear you, okay?
All right.
Okay, and just bear in mind also that we are streaming live to YouTube. So just keep in mind, if you don't want YouTube to know your business, just keep that in mind, okay?
All right.
So whatever you're doing, just remember YouTube is watching, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we have another party checking in. Stand by. Okay, who else do we have checking in? Young lady looks like a pink shirt, long, dark straight hair. I saw the last name, but Mistreel?
Strail, yep.
Okay, which case are you checking in on?
I apologize. 212-40080.
Okay, that looks like Helping Seniors of Michigan versus Ollie Carson, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great, thank you so much. Let's see what we've got. Okay, we adjourn this to today's date to allow you to complete service by alternate service or by bailiff or by process server.
As far as I know, according to Allen Hope and Associates, they have attempted 3 times. And that's with me filing the alternative service. And they still, as of April 7th, they emailed me saying that they have not been able to make contact.
Okay, all right, so the other thing then is it looks like that puts you on track for alternate service. I know and it might be that we talked about that before, just because I think we had to at least complete 3 attempts.
Yeah.
Okay. So a couple things we're gonna check as far as housekeeping. So that was use of a process server, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, has your process server, usually there's paperwork one way or another where the process server files paperwork either with you or with the court to say, you know, I made 3 attempts. To your knowledge, has the process server filed paperwork with the court or given or provided you with any kind of documentation? That
Not
they
to my
made-
knowledge, no. As of yesterday afternoon, grabbing the mail, no.
Okay, in which case, then we'll probably end up having to adjourn this again for a couple of reasons, plus we want to make sure, oh, hang on. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to, the court's gonna have to extend the affidavit because the court's looking at your original filing you had until April 23, so we're knocking on the door of that. So to allow you time to, get documentation for the 3 attempts, and for your office or whoever is gonna do the paperwork, your office to do the post office verification. It's called a POV or post office verification.
Okay.
And once that comes back from the post office, because basically that's the post office verifying that yes, this address that you're using is a good address for the defendant.
Okay,
Basically what you're looking for is 2 parts, the 3 attempts documentation from your process server.
Okay.
And the post office verification from the post office. And then that puts you on track for a motion for alternative service. So we're gonna adjourn yours also. The other thing, the it factor that none of us has any control over is the fact that unfortunately, you know, everybody's still feeling the effects of the slowdowns with the post office being able to follow through, you know, and kind of get a lot of the housekeeping things done. So to be fair, I have not heard, the court has not heard anything specifically about how quickly the post office is turning those post office verifications around. So whether it's you or someone else from the business filing the post office verification, they probably want to ask and say, hey, listen, if we're looking to get this done, you know, we've got a deadline of whatever the date's going to be. We'll talk about that in a minute. Ask them, you know, once we file this post office verification, can you tell us about how long it's going to take to turn it around and you get a response from the post office about, you know, is this a good address?
Okay.
So that would be helpful because it'll give us an idea of, you know, how to create a timeline. But in the meantime, we are going to extend this, the affidavit for the filing. So let's talk a couple of dates. One, we're going to adjourn this to allow your office to get that post office verification going and also get those 3 attempts because now it's more appropriate now to get this on track for a post office verification scenario.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What I want to do is do a couple things. One, I'm going to adjourn it. And also, we're going to review this application, sheets. And a motion to extend the affidavit. So what the court's going to do is 2 parts. Ms. Strell? Oh,
Strail, yep. Good enough.
Okay. We're going to extend the affidavit. I'm going to put it out to about May 28th, so that'll give you time to get all of this housekeeping stuff done.
Okay.
And then we're also going to schedule a second date. It's going to be sooner than that, so at least kind of get an update on where are we in this process of getting this housekeeping done. So it's going to be 2 parts. So May 28th for extending the affidavit, and we're going to get another date to kind of keep up with where we're at in this process. You said there's nothing on the
Nor does.
Okay, we're gonna come back here to the Zoom room on May 14th. 9:30 a.m. And this is to allow plaintiff to complete alternate service. Okay, so this is to, we're moving it to May 14th to allow you to complete alternative service and file proof of service with the civil division. And the May 28th date is going to be extending the affidavit itself, so concentrate on May 14th, and it's not the end of it, that's not when the clock runs out, but at least it gives us time to touch base about how far along in the process are you, because again, the thing that we don't have control over is that post office verification to get you on track for all service, okay? So we're gonna keep working with it and until we get an update about where we stand with that.
Thank you.
Okay, and again, okay, so we got your motion to adjourn, today, the court, your hearing date to May 14th. And we also have a motion, to extend the affidavit itself to May 28th, so that's to give you enough time. So we've got two dates here. And then, but the 28th is for the purpose of giving you enough time to complete service. The 14th is, if you're able to get it done by the 14th, then great, we can hit the ground running. It's just that way, we can just kind of stay in touch. You can stay in touch with the court about where you're at in the process. Okay, again, we don't. There's a the one hit factor is we just don't know how quickly the post office is going to be able to turn that around. And again, just for future reference, especially if you're going to be filing things in the future, it's just kind of good to have that information on hand so you can maybe establish good rapport with your post office or whatever post office provides services for your area for the business, just to kind of be on the same page with them in the event you have to do this again.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And also for courts, it's also helpful for the court because again, because this is kind of new for everybody, and you might have overheard the court speaking about the complications with doing the green cards, the certified mail. that's another layer that we didn't find out about. It's nobody's fault. It is available to, it's available to parties who want to file. It's just unfortunately, because of this COVID protocol, it's creating issues for us, for both parties as well as for the court. So just kind of getting up to speed about on the practical end of it, how is this really working, or how does it work for people? It helps us to adjust and so we can kind of keep business moving. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So here's what we're gonna do. So any update we can provide is actually helpful for us as well. So the 691 is still a good address for you guys. Is that correct? To receive
Yes,
mail?
ma'am. Yes.
Okay, great. All right, we're gonna get this back to you. Was there anything else for you today? Is that the only case you had today?
No, ma'am. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks. We look forward to the update. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, sorry. Okay, next. Okay. Is there anyone here from Woodward Check Cashing? Anyone here from Woodward Check Cashing? Okay. In the meantime, do you have any files or anything for me to?
I'll have to go here. It's downstairs.
And then the other question is, since I have you here along with the others, so they can wait for us.
Right.
I haven't been to the box in a few days, so we'll get some.
I'll go back.
You want to check the box?
I'll go there.
Okay, great. Yeah, like I said, we're just,
number of things. Make sure I give you the right stuff.
Biggest of it is, what was those on ROA? Not just to print out a ticket, setting somebody. Some shit about that. So we're getting ROA. Yes.
hope that's what you mean, I'm not sure. I think that's what you mean, I'm not sure. What I just gave you?
Yeah, the register back. Like, I'm assuming that they're up to date, but I do want to please know if the run SOS and see if like the registration has been updated.
The reason why I asked for the again. Since she attended the Zoom meeting and took this, I can't remember, she said, phone out and so maybe it was dismissed. I'm looking at, I wonder if it ran on. Kept getting the date, and it ended up on her docket. But there's nothing else after that, so I guess I'm missing something, like, for example, did it go into default? Like it got court date, kept getting the court dates, and then she was still show, she said she showed up and got thrown out. I'm not seeing anything where I feel like, dismissed for no officer or anything like that, so it's like a particular code, then maybe I'm missing that would indicate no officer. Just looks like missing it. We just
Right,
went to
it never
default.
happened. I don't know who changed it to, you for the judge of record,
Mhm.
DGM, I don't know what that is. It's like, it's called, I don't know.
Okay.
But,
I'm just, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
There was never a date, it was never addressed, just,
Do we even get it? I don't even see what, okay,
it's never,
went to default, remove from calendar. Remove from calendar. Maybe it was a calendar, maybe it just kept getting thrown.
moving calendar, never had, I don't see a date on there. Okay, moved from calendar 4/29.
And it kept getting new dates. And then finally, it got sent to us, but not seeing date. You know what I mean, like after this, assuming from July to September.
None of these are really even a date, it's just, it's not supposed to display like that. It's supposed to say, like, except for pre-hearing, except for informal
Right.
hearing, except for whatever. It's never saying that, it's just saying
Okay.
calendar due date.
Right, and
That's
somehow
not,
it
that's
ended
not
up
even in
going
the
to
system,
default.
correct?
Okay, in which case, I don't understand what this is, because it sounds like, because for her to say
She
it was
didn't
here and it got
intend
thrown out,
anything,
makes it sound like she was
she
there
was
and
in
it
court,
got dismissed for some
she
reason.
didn't intend it.
Right, here's the thing,
That's
I get a
why
fresh,
that's what I'm saying.
start fresh, a new day, call it a day.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Ms. Brown, if you can hear us.
Yes,
Thank you so much for your patience. We are coming up on 10:30, so here's what we're going to do. Service has been made good. We were satisfied with that from when we first checked in. So we're going to, get going with your case. So we're going to swear you in. Raise your right hand, Ms. Hayes. Ms. Brown, Ms. Brown. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, Ms. Brown?
yes,
Okay, Ms. Brown, you originally filed the lawsuit indicating the cause of action was between October 5th and October 28th of 2020. You sued for $1,280, indicating that you were quoted, it looks like a number of home improvement jobs and on certain dates.
yes,
Looks like it looks like the work was not complete or was not completed properly. Is that correct?
yes,
Okay, let's take a look at what you submitted, which includes receipts for money paid. Looks like along the way, a various number of receipts and work that was supposed to get done. And it looks like a fence was supposed to get put up. Is that correct?
yeah, a fence and a gate across the front of the house.
Got it. And it looks like you've also submitted photographs of gutters and items that were supposed to get repaired and weren't done or were done but not done properly or weren't done at all.
Yes,
Okay.
and I have to get somebody out and pay somebody to correct that. Still
Got it.
spending.
Okay. Got it. Okay, let me ask you this. So the $1,280 is the money that you paid to him for the services, is that correct?
Can you repeat that?
The $1,280 is the money that you paid for the services for him to do, is that correct?
Yes, to complete, yes, to
Okay.
complete
Yeah.
work,
The
yes.
next question is, have you gotten an estimate for what it would cost to get the work done correctly or to get it done?
No, I have not, well, I, paid already to complete the
Okay.
work that Mr. Hayes, but I have not got an estimate to, correct the work on the garage yet, because,
Okay, let me ask you this, not to cut you off, let me ask you this, how much did you have to pay someone else to complete the work that has been done?
oh, that's on my original, the total was 18, wait a minute, 1,000, wait a minute. It's on my original filing, how much I paid for the original, without the fixing the garage.
Okay, well, here's the thing, ma'am, when you first filed, you sued for $1,280, what is that for?
That's for, the finishing the gate, finishing the gate and paying the gate company the rest of the money that was not submitted on my behalf. And
Okay.
also for other little jobs that he did proceeding up to the gate that
Okay.
shorted
So
me.
Okay, so this 1,800, you were mentioning $1,800, what is that for? Did you have to pay more money?
No, I'm not looking at, I think it is at 1280, but no, the only thing I have not added in there, the additional that has not been added in that, what the 1,000 and what 1,200, whatever it was, is the get somebody out here to complete the garage. And I didn't add filing fee or submission fees, you know,
Oh, no, that's, okay, well, ma'am, that's a separate line item anyway, so we're only talking about what you had to pay out of pocket for the work that needed to get done. That's the only thing we're talking about right now, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the question is, so you're saying that you have not gotten an estimate for the other work that he was supposed to do, is that correct?
Right, that's correct. Well, he finished the work, but he did not do it correctly. So now I have to have it straightened up. And
Okay, well, that's what we're talking about now. Now we're at the part of, so you have not gotten an estimate of what it would cost to correct his work, is that correct?
right, on the additional stuff, the garage, yes.
Okay, but these were things that he was supposed to do, is that correct?
Yes, he didn't do it right. When he first initially did it, he did not do the job right.
Okay, so here's the thing, here's where we're at. Because you still have to pay money, even though you don't know how much, you can still recover or get the dollar amount of what it would cost. So even if it's an estimate, you haven't spent the money yet, so you're already at the $1,280 to finish the work. So for the things that have to be corrected, you could still include that in your claim. You can't come back and do it again. So the question is, if you want, this is your choice. We can adjourn this, and that would give you time to get an estimate, a written estimate, from a legitimate company or a person who can do the work. You don't have to pay to get the money to get it done, but if you can get an estimate of what it will cost to recover that, you can include that in your judgment. So we would adjourn this to give you time to come back with an estimate. Do you understand?
Yes. Oh, wow.
So that is your choice, but just understand that if you do not want to do that, then you would get your $1,280. The court is prepared to give you your judgment for $1,280.
Okay.
But you can go back and sue again for the same thing. You see the point?
Yes. Okay. Okay.
So the question is, would you be interested in adjourning this so that you can get an estimate and you can send an estimate to the court?
Well, your magistrate, I just want this done with, okay? And I want it settled. So no, I'll just go ahead and go on so I can be done with it. And I'll just have to eat the cost and pay out of my pocket and have somebody straighten it up, because this is very stressful.
No, and the court appreciates that, ma'am, but the court just wanted to bring that up so that you understand, where we're at right now, and that you have options so that you can make an informed decision about what we're going to do today, okay? That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, and Ms. Brown, again, we're still streaming live to YouTube, so we just want to confirm that the 14592 address is still a good address for us to mail the paperwork, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. At this time, we are concluded. Thank you so much for your patience. We're gonna get this in the mail to you, okay? And when you receive it, keep it for your records. So in case you need to contact the court or anybody else about what happened today, the paperwork that you get from today is what you're gonna wanna have in hand as a reference, okay?
I didn't quite understand that. You said I'll be receiving,
You're going to receive a copy of today's judgment. Do you understand?
okay,
Keep it for your records, so in case you need to contact the court or anybody else about what happened today, the paperwork that you receive is what you'll want to have in hand as a reference. Do you understand?
yes, okay.
Okay, anything further?
Yes, okay, okay, yeah, I understand that I'm gonna receive a document of the judgment. So he's gonna have to reimburse me, is that what you're saying?
Well, he has 30 days. He's going to receive a copy of the judgment that we entered today. He has 30 days in which to pay.
Okay. Okay. But he's gonna have to go through the court, right?
No, ma'am. The court does not handle any money or any payments. That is between you and the other party.
Oh, okay, so what happens if, he doesn't pay within 30 days though?
Well, then that is on your paperwork. Then that allows you an opportunity to contact the court again, and they will walk you through the process of how to collect.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Okay?
okay,
Anything further?
no,
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We are concluded. Good luck, ma'am.
okay, thank you,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Okay, Ms. Washington.
Yes,
Okay, you're up. Here's what we have. The other party has not checked in. We do have service. And the court appreciates that you did make use of a process server. So we're good on service. So next we're going to have you raise your right hand. We're going to swear you in and begin to take testimony. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
yes, it is.
Okay. Ms. Washington, you're suing Mr. Reuter for $6,000, indicating that Reuter came out to your home because the carpet was getting wet. They came out, dug up your yard, and put pipes in, and said that the problem was repaired, but it was not repaired. Okay, let's take a look. Court's going to review. Looks like you have a typewritten statement here. We have a receipt for Roto Reuter. And you did submit photographs as well as receipts and paperwork. Court's going to take a moment to go through that now. And you also prepared a written statement. The court's going to review that now.
You got it right there. I know it by heart.
Okay, Ms. Washington, thank you for your patience. The court looked over your written statement to the court that explains what was going on when you contacted Mr. Reuter. And the court also read the letter that the company, Mr. Reuter, sent to you in response to your questions to them about the work that they did versus whether it was going to solve the problem. For whatever reason, you did complete service, but they have not responded. And the court also sees a couple of things. So the court's going to take a moment. I'm glad that your daughter is here, so the court kind of wants to address this to both of you, so you both have an understanding of where we're at. One, you're here today. You completed service. They have not responded for whatever reason. So here's what's going to happen. The original money that you paid to them, the court's looking at the receipt. It's for, it looks like $3,950.34 for the work that they did where they tilled in the, drug up the backyard, replaced pipes.
Excuse me, it was really, it was $4,500. I had to pay $500 cash out of my pocket.
And if you look at the yellow receipt from them, it was white, but the receipt on it shows 500 paid cash.
Oh, got it. Thank you. Okay. So for the money that you paid to them, there are a couple of things going on, so the court wants to explain to you what we're doing today, okay?
All right.
Because you are both here, the court is satisfied that you got service completed. The court is prepared to give you your judgment for the money that you paid out of pocket for that service. So that puts you at, hang on. That puts you at $4,034 that you paid to the company to have the work done, okay?
All right.
Because no one is here from the company to represent the company, to explain what happened, to represent on this case, the court is prepared to give you your judgment for the $4,000.34. But let me explain what's going on, okay?
Yes.
There are a couple of things going on. At the end of the day, this may not be the end of the case, and I'm going to explain why, okay? This case is unique because the other paperwork that you submitted for the $1,000 for the hot water tank that apparently was the real source of the problem of the leak of the carpet getting wet.
Yes.
That issue that needed to get repaired, there's no connection between that and the work that Mr. Reuter did.
Okay.
Let's explain. Please listen. Here's the thing. It appears that the work, here's the thing. You need to show a connection between what they did or did not do and the damage to the property or the money that you're out, based on what you presented in your written statement about the fact that once you got the water heater repaired, there were no more issues with the carpet getting wet. Mm-hmm. There's no connection between that and the work that needed to get done for the water heater and what the company did or did not do properly.
But that's what she called them out here for, is the carpet being wet. That was the whole initial reason they were called.
I know, ma'am, but here's the thing. The paperwork that they did submit to you to Ms. Washington was that there was some kind of a blockage. They sent a camera down and they were able to discover that there was a pipe that needed to get repaired. So they did the work. So hang on, just listen. Okay? Because they're not here today, that is the reason why the court is prepared to give you your judgment, because that's what you're asking for. They're not here to respond or defend themselves. So you're going to get your judgment, okay? Mm-hmm. But this is the end of the case, because if the company does respond, this may go to hearing again, in which case if they're smart, they're gonna send somebody to respond to this case. For whatever reason, they didn't do that today. So that is the reason why you're getting your judgment. Okay?
Okay, but I get what, I'm sorry, this is Tawana, her daughter.
Here's the thing, ma'am. The reason why we can't go any further, the court cannot explain why they didn't appear. The court cannot explain or argue their position, which is why you're getting your judgment today. Okay? If the other party decides to set aside the default, because basically they didn't appear, so you're going to get a default judgment in your favor, in her favor.
Mm-hmm.
The company may in the future, and they would have to appeal within 7 days. They could appeal this court's decision, the judgment, and you start over again. And if they're smart, they're going to send somebody to actually have a hearing on this case, because the court is not making a decision on whether or not if it was necessary or unnecessary. The only reason that you're getting your judgment today is because the other person is not here. Okay? Because the subject that we cannot discuss is whether or not if the work was necessary or not. That's that is not getting discussed today because the other party is not here. So there's nothing to talk about. The other party is not here. The court cannot.
I got it.
Yeah. But the court.
I get it. I think we were just confused when you said it don't look like a connection. They did what they did. Okay, I get what you're saying.
The court is giving you the big picture, okay? So there are a lot of things going into what's happening at this moment. It's just that there's been no discussion, no hearing, no determination one way or another about whether or not if the work was necessary, should the money have been paid, should it not have. We're not discussing that today because they're not here.
Okay, that makes sense.
So when you receive this paperwork, keep it for your records as a reference. So in case there is activity on this in the future, or the other party does decide to file paperwork to set aside the default, they're entitled to do that. They have to do it within 7 days after they receive their paperwork, okay? So that's why just be mindful that there might be activity arising out of this in the future, in the near future.
Now, how would my mom know? How would she know? You guys will let her know?
Yes. She would receive a notice in the mail, which is why the court is saying when you receive your copy of this judgment with the reference and the reasons why and everything on it, if there's any activity in the future, she'll receive a notice in the mail. Our court will send paperwork. The other party has to do the work. They would have to file a motion to set aside default judgment, and mother would receive the notice. Now, the other thing is bear in mind, and you've been hearing this probably the whole time, is that unfortunately we're all subject to what the U.S. Postal Service is doing as far as activity. Things are running slow. Okay? So what the court is trying to do is give everybody as much room as possible to be able to, still get things taken care of in the event that, say, you don't get the mail in time or something happens. We're trying to give everybody a chance to be heard on their cases, okay?
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So,
And I just have one question. I'm not sure if you can answer. So my mom took out a loan through them for this money. Now, when you send the judgment, can she send it to the loan people? Because they said once we get a resolution, we could send them the paperwork. Would this judgment be okay to send to them?
well, here's the thing. The court cannot directly answer that question because she gets her judgment. She wants that, and I think what they're looking for is they want to forward that. She wants to forward that to the company, to who that loan agency is, that financing agency is, and then they'll take it from there. Because to be honest, that's like a third party. The court was not aware that there was a loan issue here. The court was not aware of that. Okay, so if anything,
oh
no,
okay, I didn't.
Yeah. So the thing is, if there's another party involved as far as financing, that's kind of between her and the finance company, but it sounds like they are on top of it. So they're going to want to know. So definitely forward it to them. The court cannot advise you on what happens after that because, to be honest, that's a new factor.
Okay. Because we did call them like 2 days after the problem still exists, and we told them we were getting a lawyer. So I was just wondering, would she send that judgment to them? Because they said that's if we taken them to court, we would send the paperwork. So I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, then in which case, yes, forward that to them, make sure that they are up to speed on whatever's happening with this case. Same
Okay.
thing if the company decides to file the motion to set aside default, which brings us back. So the thing is, the court can't encompass everything. The only thing we're dealing with is your mom's contract for the service with Mr. Ruby. That's the only thing this court is dealing with. That's the only thing that's a part of the lawsuit.
Okay.
So if anything, any developments that happen, put them up to speed. So same thing, if there is a motion to set aside a default, let them know. They may want a copy of the paperwork. So just keep your originals, whatever you receive from us, keep your originals, make copies, and send it to that other company so that they're up to speed on any development with this case.
Okay, all right.
Okay? So beyond that, the court cannot advise you or tell you what's gonna happen, but it sounds like they're prepared to deal with it on their end, so they're in a better position to talk to you about what happens next when they receive a copy of this paperwork.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay? All right, so just again, we're still streaming. We just want to confirm that 11399 address is still a good address for Ms. Washington to receive paperwork.
Yes, it is.
Okay, then what we're going to do is the court's going to finish filling out this paperwork. Make sure you get your copy of this. Stand by. So give me an opportunity to fill out the paperwork here. Stand by. And Ms. Washington, when you got the process server to serve the paperwork, was there a fee for the process server?
No,
Well,
Okay.
it wasn't a process.
Hang on. Looks like we've got service and process. If there wasn't a fee, that's fine. We're just making sure we're accounting for everything.
I'm sorry. It was $11 I
No,
paid.
that's the certified mail.
Okay, but for the certified mail, I sent to the court $11.
Yes, ma'am. But the court is
Okay.
looking at, the court does recall that we had a conversation about you utilizing a process server because of
You
the
did,
problem with that
didn't
key card that we're experiencing. So the court was urging you, in this case, to use a process server. And it looks like you did complete service.
Right,
Uh,
but just so you know, it wasn't a process server. Mr. Humphreys walked me through. I had my uncle send it to them, take it to them. We took it to them on Friday after court. And once we were done, Mr. Humphreys walked him through what he needed to do. And I sent it to him in the email.
Okay, that's fine. So we do have that, so that's fine. It's just the court's looking to account for all expenses, for the expenses associated with filing the case. So we're just looking at court costs right now. So it's just the $70 filing fee and the $11 for the certified mail. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Washington, the court's going to send you your copy of your paperwork to the address that we've discussed. And it sounds like you ladies have a good handle on everything after this. And pretty much the other party has 30 days in which to make payment. The other thing is, it sounds like, again, because there was a financing issue, once you receive your copy of this, forward, make a copy, keep your originals, make a copy and forward it to this other company that's asking for the paperwork, and then ask them, what happens, where does that put us, and that kind of thing. And they can keep you more up to speed and informed on what happens after today. Because as far as the financing, the court has no part of it. They weren't a part of this lawsuit, so the court can't really speak to it anyway, so they can walk, the finance company can walk you through what to do or what to expect after this. Okay?
Okay, and just to make sure we clear, so they have, Mr. Reuter have 7 days to respond. And then if they don't respond, they have 30 days for payment.
That is correct.
Okay,
Okay, but again, because there's a financing element to this, the court can't speak to what, if anything, may happen. They may decide, we don't know that, okay?
Okay.
We don't know that. So, okay, that's everything at this time. Is there anything further, Ms. Washington?
No, thank you so very much.
Yes, ma'am. Take care, ladies. Thank you. We appreciate both of your patience with both of you. I mean, we know that it was a long time to get us here, but unfortunately, we're all kind of, making through this in terms of COVID and everything else. So again, just make sure you keep your paperwork. The good thing is that you're in touch with the people that you need to be in touch with. Just keep up with that. And if anything comes up, just talk, on this end, contact the civil division or the small claims court here, and they can kind of walk you through. Again, they cannot give you legal advice, but they can kind of, help keep you up to speed with what to do next if something else develops, okay?
okay, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, and stay safe.
The same, ladies. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.